That's my honor, and I'd like to introduce to you the chairman of your International Board of Directors, Michael Dominguez.
Man, good job. Good job. I'm sorry. Good morning, everybody. I am as tired as Paul, I will tell you that. It has been an amazing couple of days, and when we talked on Sunday, I mentioned we would come back and talk about WEC and kind of wrap it up in a nice little bow. And it's been interesting because we've had a lot of dialogue, and we challenged you to go out and engage and introduce yourself and have conversations, and you took it to heart because we've had a lot of conversations in the last few days, and I was just hoping my voice would hold up today. But the one word we kept hearing, no matter who we spoke to, was we were inspired. And that was very cool to hear. And it was all said in different words and different stories, but it was about inspiration. And what I got to experience through a different lens, and being chair, it is a different lens when you experience WEC in that role. We went to the chapter leaders breakfast, and you look at all of the effort that's going into our chapters, and we said, we are a chapter-centric organization, and we will not forget that as a board. And when you look at all the leadership in the room and all the hours that are going into it, you have to feel inspired. And we asked Kevin Hinton, and I'm gonna pick on him, because we talked about looking around and seeing what you want, what was going on around you. And we asked Kevin to give a few inspiring words to the chapter leaders before he left, and he got up and said, "Did you see that watermelon? Well done." He did say more than that, but that was the first thing out of his mouth as he was taking a picture. And then we went to the Future Leaders Forum, and that's where it's really my passion, is to look at our future leaders and where this organization is gonna go. And it's pretty impressive. And then we went to the Big Deal, which was a lot of fun, and we can't forget that some of this is fun. And for Mr. Kelly Foy, if you're in the audience, one card I understand you needed that you would have been sitting at the championship, wherever you are. Had I been with you, you probably would have been there. I have your 5 that you need. If you don't know this, Kelly Foy lost on the last card. Literally, the only cards that could beat him were a king and a 10 came up. Then we had the chapter receptions, and man, there were a lot of them, and everybody wanted us to be there. So for those of us, or those we didn't get to, we apologize, because we were trying to get to everybody, because you are important. But you see the energy and the networking, and again, that's what this is all about. And then we had the Rise Awards yesterday, and the Rise Awards, for anyone who missed the lunch, truly we get to celebrate our community. And you know, when you hear Maria talking about she has a dream, and you hear Miguel talking about drinking the Kool-Aid and bleeding MPI, that's kind of what we are. I want to share something with you to kind of wrap up WEC, and one of the most impactful and inspirational speeches in my life, and I reference it often, is a speech that took place 17 years ago. It was Jimmy Valvano when he received the ESPY Award for the Arthur Ashe Award at the ESPYs. And truly to this day, it is one of the most inspirational speeches I've ever heard. If you haven't seen it, please YouTube it. But I want to show you one small clip.
There are 3 things we all should do every day. If we do this every day of our life, you're going to have, what a wonderful, number 1 is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number 2 is think. You should spend some time in thought. And number 3 is you should have your emotions moved to tears. Could be happiness or joy. But think about it. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day. You do that 7 days a week, you're going to have something special.
That means a lot to me, and it's something I always remember, but you think about it. You need to laugh, you need to think, and you need to move your emotion to tears, and that's a heck of a day. We've had 3 heck of a days. It's been pretty cool, because if you didn't have your emotions moved to tears in the first session, I don't know what will. But that is something that I think is the WEC experience, and that is our MPI community. This entire theme started with transformation, and as an industry, our community, our lives in general have changed over the last few years dramatically. And our industry has taken everything that has been thrown at us that our economy and our political leaders can hammer, but we've emerged smarter, stronger, and more united. And that's what gives me a lot of confidence. We've talked that we need to collaborate as an industry, and as an industry, we've begun to find our unified voice to remind everybody the strength in our growing jobs and helping the economy to stabilize. That's what the meetings and events industry is all about. And I'm so excited to see all of the major industry associations working together with the U.S. Travel Association to ensure that the meetings industry has one consistent voice with one consistent message. Our goal as MPI members is to be the collaborative organization in the meetings and events industry. We have a responsibility as leaders of the largest meeting planning community to not only grow MPI, but to make our industry better. By partnering, we will continue to grow these educational opportunities and marketplace opportunities for all of you. And working together, it builds trust with the leaders and the other organizations, which is necessary if we're gonna work together as an industry. Henry Ford once said, "Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success." Well, I'm here to tell you that we're committed to success and will continue to work together with other meeting and event industry leaders. We started the week talking about our diversity, and it's our community. And look around you. We are a mosaic of culturally diverse individuals, and that's what makes us so strong. We are a global community. This diversity in thought is what makes us strong as a community. And it's our differences that bring us together, not pull us apart. We are MPI. The question I was asked when I was elected chair is, what's your greatest strength as MPI? And what do you see as your greatest challenge as a leader and as an international board? And it's interesting because our greatest strength is our 20,000 members in 71 chapters and clubs in 23 countries. And our greatest challenge as leaders is that we're 20,000 members in 71 chapters and clubs in 23 countries. It's that diversity that is a challenge, but it's a challenge we're willing to take on. This economic crisis has really allowed us as a leadership team to focus on the diverse needs and wrestle with some of the unique circumstances that a mixed recovery brings to all of our chapters. I was reminded that MPI is more than an association, it's more than a community, it's a family. You know, and this event really shows that. We love, we hug, we kiss, just as most families do. We sometimes argue, and that's okay. And I'm amazed by the passion that we witness from our membership. And it's this passion and emotion that is truly the strength and something that we need to capitalize on moving forward, and we won't forget that. We will make mistakes, but failure is part of the process, and as leaders, it is our job to take risk and risk for you. A friend of mine in the industry once reminded me that we would rather have critics than be irrelevant. Well, I'm here to tell you, we're pretty relevant. We have some critics out there. And it's okay because we need to listen to all of those voices. Critical and complimentary, because if we're gonna improve, we need to hear all of the feedback. When we talk about family, it is important to recognize all of your family that assists you in your journey we call life. I have to thank my past Lowe's family and Mr. John Tisch, who allowed me to spend a lot of time with MPI, and a lot of my volunteer time with MPI came when I was with the Lowe's family. And a huge, huge shout out to my new MGM Resorts family. I could not have found a better home. I had no idea when I was elected chair-elect that I would actually be standing on the stage in a place that I can call home. And it's been a humbling experience to be able to meet everybody here, and you've gotten to experience a little bit of the hospitality and the belief of MGM Resorts International. Your support and assistance from MGM Resorts International has encouraged me, and it's completely overwhelming. We're influenced along the way by so many, and I have to thank my parents who are here today. It's their unconditional love, even when I was a handful as a kid, that allows me to tackle every day. Kevin, you're gonna get a kick out of this. My mother is my hero, and she is a shining example of hard work, sacrifice, and what doing for others really means. And I only hope that I can match the bar that she has set for me. She's going to kill me, but I'm gonna share one of my favorite pictures of my mother that is in my office every day. I took her to Maui for her first time 2 years ago. And she was walking the beach, and you need to know, my mother doesn't swim. So she rolls up her pants to make sure she doesn't get wet, and you can see what happens. The thing about this picture with my mother, and she's always teaching me, is it's her childlike enjoyment of the little things in life that reminds me to make sure to stop and smell the roses, make sure to stop and look around and enjoy those moments. Mom, I love you, and thank you. And I must thank my wife, Marcy, who puts up with all the trips, the extra hours, the phone calls, looking at my device, even in dinners and during downtime. Believe me, I hear it. She continues to not only support MPI, but pushes me to get to the next piece, even when sometimes I don't want to do it. Thank you, honey, for all of your support. I love you. There are so many volunteer leaders sitting out there today. Don't forget to thank all of those around you that supported you and that are part of your recent family. It's hard work, so let me say thank you for everything you're doing for MPI. The MPI family is experienced at the chapter level, as I said earlier, and we will remain chapter-centric, as this is the lifeline of the MPI family. Your board will look at ways to assist the chapter leaders to make the chapter experience all that it can be. I have started a mantra with our board this year, and the mantra is simply pounding the rock. We need to celebrate the progress in the journey, and the Pounding the Rock slogan comes from a 19th century immigrant rights activist who once said, "When nothing seems to help, I go look at a stonecutter hammering away at his rock perhaps 100 times without as much as a crack showing in it. And yet on the 101st crack, it will split in two. And I know it was the 100 hits that came before it, not the 101st blow, that cracked the rock." The message is really simple. Are we better today than we were yesterday? And that is the question I will continue to challenge ourselves as leaders to ask. I look forward to pounding the rock together. Our 3 pillars will continue to be the central point of all that we do in this community. It is our chapters in our community, which is our chapters in membership. We will continue to focus on our marketplace, which is the business-to-business opportunities, because yes, we are in here for the opportunity to do business together. And then our 3rd pillar is our knowledge and ideas pillar, and that is professional development, because many of you come to learn, grow, and grow as people. And this is something we're going to spend our resources and our time to make sure you have a better experience. We've created 2 different task forces this year that are very close to my heart, and these task forces will be time specific, they will have objectives, and we will have actionables coming out of them. And the one task force is with our student and future leaders community to really take a look at what those needs look like along the path. If you're a student, if you're coming looking for a job, or if you're just gotten a job and wanting to get in our community. And the second task force that we've created is professional development. And the Senior Professionals Task Force. And the Senior Professionals Task Force is to really take a look at our senior professional community and what those unique needs look like. Leadership is at the forefront of our volunteer community. And this is something, as a focus of our international board and chapters leaders, we need to keep in mind that there are 2 objectives to be good leaders. Leaders rally people to a better future. And you are a leader if, and only if, you are restless for change, impatient for progress, and deeply dissatisfied with the status quo. I commit to all of you that we will be restless, impatient, and dissatisfied. That is our goal. Yes, these are times of change. Yes, we are transforming as an organization and as a community. And I am confident that we have the leadership in place to lead us through these times. Our MPI staff is the backbone of our community, and I would be negligent if I didn't take a moment to say thank you for all the work that you do each and every day. Why am I so confident in our future? Just look around you. Have you taken an opportunity to meet the next generation of MPI leaders? If you attended the Rise Lunch yesterday, you got to see Maria Meski of Indianapolis when she told all of us, I have a dream. And you also had the opportunity to hear from Jill Mendoza again. She was Jill Schroeder, Jill Mendoza again, the Rise Award recipient for Young Professional Achievement in 2012. Do you remember what she so eloquently told us last year in her acceptance speech? We need to give back, we need to connect, and we need to be mentors. She told us not to be afraid and get out there and get going. So Jill, I hope you don't mind that I'm gonna paraphrase the thought you left us with. We are MPI. We are one community with one voice, and let's go be heard. To stay with our theme of Sawubona, on behalf of the International Board, we see you and we are here. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the Congress.